People of God, I welcome you to Youthful here on the radio show live on Echo Television International. And as usual, for some reason, I refuse to be lonely on set. So I dragged some people with me and I begged them. I said, please, come and keep me company.
Did you really beg us? Okay.
I said, Prudence, how far? Come, let's do this today's show.
Okay.
I
decided to agree.
Beautiful Miss Linda, aka Lalas, to come and join me on this show. And I like her, like, why are you wearing my color?
I don't know.
I think I'll do my wedding gown in this color.
Just
that would be nice. You guys should not be surprised when you see me in the wedding gown in this color.
Nice. That would be something different.
It's a royal color, so I'll look like a queen that I am.
That's right.
The bride of Jesus.
Yeah. So we're welcome to this episode and today. And okay, let me ask us some fun questions like that. We're having a serious topic, right? But I just want us to like start it in this manner. Like, what were you told sex was as a child? Growing up, like, what was the definition of sex? Like, what was it? Like, me, I remember my own in primary school, though, but let me start with you people.
It's very funny, the kind of thing people think about, like things that people will just tell you about sex. Like, while growing up, there was a time someone told me, or let's say maybe an aunt said, it's very funny because growing up and then I just realized like, wow, like this thing, this is
like, that dumb.
Like, do you get like you should not allow a guy to see your pants when you're up and then you get pregnant. Wow.
Okay,
well, that one is funny. I don't remember.
Like, it's funny, I don't remember.
Wow, are you for
I have no memory about it.
Okay, it's understood. Well, one stood out for me is the whole if you pee and your pee touches
that's as a boy, yes. You get pregnant.
Okay, let me tell you why this one was unique to me.
Oh my god.
Because in the toilets in the primary school was just a local toilet, like just normal. So when we pee, right, the boys' toilet is on the other side, and then the building is a little bit slopey. It's not like on the same. So like our pee will literally roll to the other side. So then what we told ourselves as children, like, I mean, when we do it, wait and hear how brave and wise and intelligent. Okay, I'm done. So we told ourselves that, but if we spit on our pee after pee, nothing will happen. So every time
God,
anytime we're in the girls' toilet,
I'm done. Like, officially, I'm done. Jeez. Oh my god.
Wow.
And then we like finish peeing, then we just, spit, and then we're safe, we don't get pregnant.
Like, this is sad.
But
like,
you know what? But one of which also that I think everybody is familiar with this was we're being told that sex is dirty. But then it's very contradictory because when you hold a person's hand, you don't feel dirty. When you're sitting close, all the electric shocks and the whatever,
all the messages that is going to pass through.
My point exactly doesn't feel dirty.
True.
And I feel these kinds of upside down teaching led to like curiosity that led a lot of people to try, and even with that people were deceived. Girls were deceived with this kind of, but I like this in general is sex education on its own, but I don't want us to go to sex education because it's too broad and deep. Like, we're here to talk about premarital sex.
Yeah,
that's what we're here for. But still, on a lighter mood, what are some of the myths about sex that you know? Like things that are not true, but for some reason people believe it, that's how it is.
Okay, let me see. The one that is rampant these days is if you don't give him sex, then he would not marry you.
True
Though. True. Which is completely wrong for
it's
me.
It's very wrong.
Like, it's wrong. Like, this is something that people always think it's the normal thing.
Yeah.
But, like, it's not.
It's not.
And there's also the one that says, if you love me, you give me sex.
True.
You get, like,
okay, what about this one that everybody's doing it?
So why not me?
So why not me? Why can't I do it?
So why not me? But it's everybody, but everybody isn't, right? And I have one, okay, that STI tests are only for those who sleep around. This is one, right?
Yeah.
And you can't get pregnant while on your period.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, because our fear is pregnancy.
That's right.
But
it's mostly the repercussion of the sex.
But you know what? We're going to talk about this. We're heading towards somewhere, and we will get to see that. But I don't want to. No, I don't even want to go in this thing. And then one again, because on Youthful, we're going to talk about pornography one day soon. And one of the myths or misconception about sex is that it's like real life sex is like pornography. So we have a lot of messed up youths out there thinking that entertainment really is what is achievable in the society. And we can go on about a lot of why I brought this basically is because these upside down teachings have led to curiosity and have led a lot of youths into practices that they didn't even know when they got into it, because your friends are telling you something else, your parents are telling you something else. You're not really getting
your churches are telling you different things. Your teachers are telling you different things. And Rachel, it's interesting because just the other day we were talking about new norms here on this show.
We were talking about new norms.
And this is like one of the biggest.
It's one of them. It's one of them.
I think this is, if you talk new norms, this should be the first thing that comes to your mind.
Yeah, because of the umbrella that everybody is doing it.
Like I literally came across somebody who says that if you haven't had sex before marriage, that's if you have not tasted the waters with the person you're supposed to marry, then how would you be sure that person can satisfy you?
Yeah,
that's why sex education is important, because it really sounds like, if this is shallow statement, it sounds very shallow, and somebody who doesn't know what he's saying, but for some reason it feels like they're making sense, but they're just saying stupid things. But,
just to mislead people.
Just to mislead people and all of that. All right, so now I just want us, specifically, in case we have an audience out there who doesn't know what premarital sex is, let's not assume everybody knows, right? It's sex, right? Like, everybody has an idea of it, but then what is premarital sex?
Premarital sex, in the book of Hebrews chapter 13 verse 4, it says it considers sex outside of marriage to be immoral. So I feel, or rather I know, that premarital sex is wrong. So people out there, when we talk about premarital sex, we're talking about these two people that are in a relationship together, okay, let's say intimate relationship together, that are not married. They are not in this what's it called now, like you're not married together, you're having sex together.
True.
Which is completely wrong, because the Bible has taught us already, and then we've heard in schools, at home, and even in churches, you should stay away from it. So it's completely wrong to practice that.
Okay, so premarital sex, as you mentioned earlier, it's just basically two individuals having sex before they are married. And I would like to take it to this extent that our world today has now taken premarital sex to a higher level.
Yeah,
it's now
cruise.
It's called cruise.
It's cruise.
Yeah.
Some people call it casual sex. You just have sex.
Friends with benefits.
You hear something like body no be firewood. That's the same.
Why not just get married? Since body no be firewood.
But you've not found also one of the things you want to take out, the whole get married for sex thing.
Yeah.
But it's still one of the reasons though people get married for it. It's not bad, but it shouldn't be the main, shouldn't be the leading factor or anything. But I think there's a topic for
another day. Actually,
we do, which is misconceptions before marriage, or we do have a topic like that. But just as we said, it's for another day.
And it's like we're doing a build up.
Yes, we are building up.
So as I was saying, it's a new norm now. So we regard it as something that you just wake up and do. You don't even need. It doesn't leave any form of tint on your body. Sometimes you don't even know this person that you just had sex with. And you feel like there's no there's no impact in your life.
But there
But then the
is.
thing is that we're forgetting something. So I heard of this analogy, and I take it personal, and I think that's one of the things that keep me from indulging in anything like that. The analogy is this: say you take two pieces of wood, and then you bring them together.
Yeah.
You carry glue, and you put them.
Yeah.
Then tomorrow you come and separate it.
Change your mind.
You know, think, oh, they are back.
They're
to
back
normal.
like
But if you check well, you'll find that particles of this
on
this.
the
and particles of
Yes,
this
is
are
on
on
this.
the other.
like I mean, ladies, we can relate to that.
So
with our fake
literally,
nails.
yes, we can relate to that with our nails.
Nails, true.
So like literally, when you allow somebody to go into you as a woman, or if you as a man goes into another person, you are leaving
Some part
essence
of you.
in
Yeah.
that
that other
person.
person.
Oh yeah.
Regardless whether you've used condom or
Or
not.
or not any protection
Hey.
or whatever.
Please, in fact, let me even bust your brain. You know what they call dry hump? It's part of it though.
Right, yeah.
Because emotionally,
there are
impacted.
many
Of
types of
course.
sexual activities, which I think when it comes to sex education, we'll break that down.
down.
Like people need to know, because there are a lot of things that people do that they feel is innocent or just has no implication, or you can push it or sweep it down the underneath the rug and be like, no, it's not a sexual activity, but it's it.
quick, let me add, in case you don't know what dry hump is, in case you're still in the dark, it means dry sex. Like your clothes are on, but you are indulging like almost everything.
Yeah, so it is. All right. So like quickly, like what are the dangers of premarital sex?
So I was just
Pregnancy.
getting to it when I was still talking.
Yeah.
I said emotionally you're leaving an impact on the
You're
person
leaving
that
an
you're
impact,
having.
yes.
For instance, the first person that you have sex with leaves this imprint on you. You have an idea of this is how sex should be because of that person.
Yeah.
For some people, because of their first sex experience, they no longer have sex because it was terrible.
True. That's
For
true.
others, that person has left this impact. Like
In
any
them.
other person that comes to them,
Mm-hmm.
they're automatically just
There. Like
yes.
still there.
So the thing is that if, for instance, if you're even saying, okay, so I'm in a relationship with this person, and I'm serious about this person, and I love this person, and that's why I'm going into sex with that person. What if you don't end up married?
That's the thing.
What
Then the
if-
next person that you are going to go,
You sleep with that person
you
again.
still do
and
the
you
same.
just keep going.
And then
you
you
keep
just
on
keep
going.
going.
You just
So you're living your
going.
essence with this person. You're living
Living your
with
essence
Wow.
with this
this
person.
person.
Yeah, because you
Oh my
never
God,
know
it sounds
how many before you reach the right
True,
right person.
true.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so now this is one. Is pregnancy a danger of premarital sex?
Is it really a danger?
Okay, let me hear you. Let me hear
I
you.
wouldn't say it as a danger. though.
Okay.
I think it's a repercussion.
Repercussion. But do you know that growing up, if they want to frighten you concerning sex, like I mean, we
you're
grew
going to
up in
get
Nigeria now, we
pregnant.
know how it be for here. It's always pregnancy that is being used as a fear factor.
Unwanted
to
pregnancy.
Unwanted pregnancy. So I wrote something down here, okay? I said getting pregnant is not a danger of premarital sex.
That's right.
It is against God's will, yes. Will it slow you down as a young person? Yes, you're
Yes.
not financially, like having children. For those who have them, no, it's not joke. It's expensive, very expensive. But is it life-threatening? No. If it was dangerous,
Danger.
if it was a dangerous thing, then come to think of it, even in marriage, it will be dangerous. That's the bottom line.
That's true.
And the real dangers, now this is me now moving to where I feel what the real dangers
Danger
of
of
premarital sex are the effects of sex that are life-threatening.
Okay, yeah.
And you
that's-
just mentioned one, which all boils onto our mental
an emotional.
and emotional this thing, and then some of the physical things, which are the STIs.
Yeah.
And then I have a report here, okay? This is from the Center for Disease Control. Half of new STDs reported each year are among young people 15 to 24. Nearly 46% of sexually active high school students did not use a condom the last time they had sex, well, you know why. No 15-year-old will walk to the pharmacy and ask for something like that. First of all, it's either they're too shy about it or they'll be embarrassed at the store. All of it, we're in a society where that wouldn't happen. So now, about 28% of Nigerian adolescents are said to be sexually active with median age of sexual debut of 15 years, meaning there are those who are lower and there are those who are higher. And an increasing proportion of those aged between 15 and 19 years engaging in sexual acts. Like now, it's not surprising that if we will be having STIs among the young people, because we're in a system that there's no enough education, there's no enough support. It's a very sensitive area to go, and this is one of the top dangers of premarital
and Rachel,
sex.
we've been talking about education of sex education, and I feel like the church is really, really negligent of that.
It is.
It keeps on telling us that don't indulge in sex, but it doesn't tell us that this is why you should not.
Yeah, true. There's no why.
It doesn't remind us that alone is taking you away from God.
From God's purpose.
Gradually.
Yeah.
So you start out, you begin, you're continuing, and you're not even knowing that what you're doing is against the principles of the Bible. It just tells you that God said we should not do it, and then they don't explain to you that He said that when you commit sexual adultery, you're sinning against yourself.
Against yourself.
First, against your body.
You're not talking about somebody else. You're talking about you. You're sinning against yourself. Then He also mentioned that the body is a temple of the Lord. So if this body is God's temple. So I'm just holding it for Him. I'm just maintaining it for Him. So how would I maintain the body of God while I keep jumping from one person's bed to another? I just keep on bringing in dirt into the temple of the Lord. And that's what we don't understand. And it's important that the church should come out and talk to youths about these things. It's really detrimental to us, and we're being all serious on today's topic because it is really
it's a serious topic,
because like just as Prudence is building upon that, aside from the health dangers of sex, because we are human beings and we're in human form, the number one as a Christian is the spiritual part about it, like how it tears you apart from God, away from God, and how it takes you. And then this brings us to the standard of God. What is God saying? Lalas, I don't know if you can go to 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 13 for us.
Okay,
First Corinthians.
I have one. I have 1 Corinthians 6:18.
Yeah,
and then it says, "Flee from sexual immorality. Every other sin a person commits is outside the body, but the sexually immoral person sins against his own body."
See, that's what I was referencing just now. Like, that's what I was saying.
Every other, like, just think of all the sins that there is or there are. It's outside but this is in. And don't you think God will take that personal? Because He told us that our body is His temple. His temple. Yeah. So imagine if you just keep filling it up with
dirt.
Yeah, with dirt. Exactly. You want God to
so at this point, I would like to stop and tell you that we're not guilt tripping you if you have already indulged in premarital sex. See, the thing is that He has given us grace. Grace beyond measure.
Yeah, exactly.
And that grace beyond measure is that He sent His Son, whose blood can cleanse us from every single thing. So if you have indulged in premarital sex and you feel guilty about it at this moment, I think it's important that you take out time now and seek the face of the Lord, and He would clean you. He said that He will forget your sin.
He will. Like,
he will wipe it. Word. It's a clean page.
Clean page. And just to concern it, of course, it's no guilt tripping. Like, definitely. And then also it's about. Also, I always like bringing addiction, because sex addiction is also. So it's more of you're in a position where you're hooked. Right? So it's not just about a 1 or 2 time thing that you're just guilty and you can get over it, but you just find yourself hooked
on it.
you can heal.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like you can heal.
He
There's
said he will
no-
heal our wounds.
He will
so
heal our wounds. You
He's
can
capable of
heal.
everything.
There's nothing that is impossible for God. It is so many factors that can help you heal. But just so you know, your situation is not hopeless.
It's not
or
hopeless.
helpless. Like, you can heal. We have a God that is just able to do what we least exceedingly abundantly, as long
above.
as you are willing to ask.
Yes.
And you will get it from Him.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, and I think that's the bottom line. It's like,
Okay, I have one
it's
scripture here.
perfection.
All right.
Towards through Christ.
Colossians 3:5 says, "Put to death, therefore, what is earthly in you:
Yeah.
sexual immorality, impurity, passion, evil desire, and covetousness, which is idolatry."
Adultery, yeah.
They're
So
holding-
more like an advice, more like a word to
It is.
someone out there who is feeling guilty,
Yeah.
or is feeling, okay, I've been doing this thing, how do I stop? Or you can just tell yourself you want to stop. No matter how you feel you're addicted to it, there's always a way out. So once you ask God, or you think, or you can just talk to someone. Maybe
I was going to say,
and
talk
you
to
can just
someone.
talk to someone.
Yes.
Someone you trust.
Find someone
Yeah.
that
And
you
also
can.
in line with just this, right? If you're not there yet, don't let those misconceptions of everybody's doing it get you
Get
there.
you there. Yes.
Because trust me, not everybody is
doing
there are
it.
people
It's
who are
true.
out there every day waking up, trying their best to stay away from anything that doesn't
Very
please
true.
God. You can be one of them. Don't get carried away with the norm that everybody is doing it. It's just like how adultery, fornication feels like, because it's on media, it's on TV, it's everywhere you go. So it's been normalized to the extent you feel you're being left out. You can even be like, your friends can make fun of you concerning it. It can be that bad, but you're a Christian. What is the Bible saying about this for me? If God doesn't say you are not normal, let nobody tell you you're not normal by doing what
As
they're
in,
saying is normal. Exactly.
Yeah, and I want to just remind you, our next episode is going to be very close to this. Oh my God, you
will
don't
be. It
want
will
to
be.
miss it.
It will be.
See, if you enjoyed this episode, I just hope that you wait for the next one. It is off the hook.
It is on the hook.
course,
And we
we
keep
just
saying
get
it, these are
ready.
topics that we might want to shy away from. But on this show, we refuse
We refuse to shy. We will discuss it
Stay
here.
here.
We
We're
there,
going to talk
yeah.
about it. So if I close this show by saying thank you for doing this with me, to sound one kind. So you know what? It's just goodbye, and then see you next time.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Yeah.
Stay hooked.
We are getting time.